بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. So now we're moving on in Tasreef al-Izzi to al-Fa'l al-Mudari. So last time we discussed al-Fa'l al-Madi, al-Ma'loom and al-Majhul, al-Mabni lil-Fa'il, al-Mabni lil-Maf'ul bihi. So if you look at it here, we've done Muqaddimah, we've completed that. Last time we had al-Madi, in there we discussed al-Mabni lil-Fa'il and al-Mabni lil-Maf'ul. In this lesson we're moving on to al-Mudari and Naf. We can discuss Mudari, Mabni al-Fa'il, Mabni al-Maf'ul, etc. So وَأَمَّا الْمُضَارِعُ, is that on? This picture speakers on? Is that the mic? Yeah, is that on? Yeah, that's fine. So أَمَّا الْمُضَارِعُ فَهُوَ مَا كَانَ فِي أَوَّلِهِ إِحْدَى الزَّوَائِدِ الْأَرْبَعَ. Basically, a Mudari is that ma fi awwalihi, that in whose beginning. So in Mudari is huwa. When you have a ma mawsula, you translate the hu and the ma together. It is that, and then when you have mawsula, you can add it in. Is that verb? You add the word verb. So Mudari is that verb fi awwalihi, in whose beginning. What is there? Ihda zawaid al-arba'a. Zawaid means extra. Ihda means one. And arba'a means four. So a fi'l al-mudari is that verb. Ma is that, we translate ma as what? That what? Verb. So a fi'l al-mudari is that verb fi awwalihi, in whose beginning there is one of the four extra letters, meaning the Alamat al-mudari, alif, ta, ya, nun. So one of the four extra letters which are the Alamat al-mudari. So a fi'l al-mudari is a verb which has a Alamat al-mudari. They call the Zawaid al-Arba'a, the four extra letters. They are Hamza, Noon, Ta and Ya. Correct? Yeah, simple. Any questions online? Everybody following the text? Yes? Okay. And he says, we have codes, we make codes up. What's codes? Men very early nearly made jars stand perpendicularly for the, that was one. My very easy way of memory planets. That one is what's the order of planets? There's a code in it. So you have different codes. We have ding for definite, indefinite number, Arab, gender. Voting for voice, tense, Arab, number, gender. So to remember the whole, there's only four of them. If you can't remember those four, there's a code for them. There's three codes. يَجْمَعُهَا قَوْلُكَ. You're saying anaita, atayna, or na'ti will collect them all. Basically in our language, a mnemonic. If you can't remember them, you can remember anaita, Hamza, Noon, Ya, Ta, or atayna, or na'ti, or alif, ta, ya, noon. Whichever you find it easier, you remember. He's a code to remember them. So you're saying anaita, or you're saying atayna, or you're saying na'ti. This will comprise all of the ihda azawail al-arba'a. You understand? This code word will encompass all of the four extra letters. You understand? يجمعوها. So what's the fa'il? قولك, you're saying what? You're saying this, or this will collect them all, will comprise them all. Comprise, collect them. Do you understand? Yes? You following? فالحمزة للمتكلم وحده. فالحمزة للمتكلم وحده. So Hamza is for the mutakallim, meaning af'alu, ansuru, a'budu, ajdudu, adhkuru. So the Hamza at the beginning is a sign, this is for what? Mutakallim. But the mutakallim is wahdahu, meaning he's alone, it's the hal. For the mutakallim alone. When I'm speaking by myself, what do I say? Af'alu, atakallamu, adrusu, aqra'u. Yes? Like af'alu. وَالنُّونُ lahu. And noon is for what? Lahu ay lil mutakallim. Noon is also for? What is noon for? Mutakallim. Idha means when غيره, someone else. غيره, someone, literally means what? Someone other than him is with him. Meaning, Jam mutakallim, mutakallimun. But really, does everybody speak at the same time? So currently mutakallimun, isn't it, really? I'm speaking and we agree. So let's say I said, on site, we said to you online, we had a competition, we had a fight. What would I say? We said, the on-site people said to the online people. Who said? Either you said, or I said. But what would we say? Because we all agreed, isn't it? We made teams. We had a self-competition, we had teams. So we said, this is our answer, we said. We didn't say. One person said it, and along with him, there was other people. Are you following? You understand? So that's why we say mutakallimun. But technically it's not mutakallimun. Because only have one mutakallim. And everybody else says, gee, agree, shaking their heads. Yes? Yes? So it's really mutakallim ma'a ghayrihi. Mutakallim along with somebody else. That's why he's made a bit longer than what we normally have. Do you understand why? Yes? So, فَالْحَمْزَةُ لِلْمُتَكَلِّمِ وَحْدَهُ. The Hamza is for the mutakallim alone. وَالنُّونُ لَهُ إِذَا كَانَ مَعَهُ غَيْرُهُ. And the noon is for the mutakallim إِذَا كَانَ مَعَهُ غَيْرُهُ, when there is someone else along with him. You following? Like نفعل. والتاء للمخاطب مفردا. What's the mufrad? What's the mukhatab when it's singular? تفعل. أو مثنى تفعلان. أو مجموعا تفعلون. Yes? Following? مذكرا كان أو مؤنثا. Now, before we explain this, we have to go to let's do a bit of Arabic. What does this kind of phrase mean? So what the phrase is, you have a phrase where you have فعل ناقص. What do we have? فعل ناقص plus his ism. Then what do we have? We have the خبر and خبر as معطوف عليه and معطوف. You following? Yes? You see the structure here? So we have maridan is a ma'tuf alay. Kunta is fa'lu naqis and the ism, and sahih becomes what? The ma'tuf. What does it mean? It means what? Whether. So whether you are sick or whether you are healthy. Muqiman kana aw musafiran. Whether he is a muqiman, he's residing, or whether he is traveling. Ghaniyan kana aw faqiran. Whether he is rich or poor. And in this whole sentence it usually becomes the hal. The whole sentence becomes what? The hal or the not. Yes? You got it? So let's translate again now. وَالتَّاءُ لِلْمُخَاطَبِ. The ta is for what? The mukhatab when it is what? Singular. Or muthannan when it is? Or majmu'an. Plural. So plural. Mudhakkaran kana aw mu'annatha. Whether it is what? Whether it is what? Whether it is masculine or feminine. For example, what do you have here? Taf'alna. Yes? Taf'alna. So taf'alu for feminine, plural, singular. Taf'al. You have even taf'alina as well.
No, it wouldn't be that.
So look, taf'alu. So taf'alu, taf'alani, taf'aluna is for mukhatab, isn't it? And taf'alina, taf'alani, taf'alna is for what? Mukhatabat. So the ta is for all mukhatabat. Singular, dual, plural, mudhakkar or muannath. Yes? So ta is for the mukhatab, whether it's singular, dual or plural, and whether it is masculine or feminine. وَلِلْغَائِبَةِ الْمُفْرَدَةِ وَلِمُثَنَّاهَا. And ta is also used for ghaiba when it's singular or dual. For example, taf'alu and taf'alani. Because what's the tasreef? Yaf'alu, yaf'alani, yaf'aluna, taf'alu, taf'alani. That ta is also for the ghaiba and ghaibatan. Do you understand? وَالْيَاءُ لِلْغَائِبِ الْمُذَكَّرِ مُفْرَدًا كَانَ أَوْ مُثَنًّا أَوْ مَجْمُوعًا. And ya is for what? يَفْعَلُ مفرد يفعلان يفعلون يفعلوا يفعلان يفعلون and also ولجمع المؤنثة الغائبة يفعلن which is what يفعلن. So we know this already from our tables, but just like it's in Arabic now. Yes? So should we translate again? So فالحمزة للمتكلم وحده. Hamza is for the mutakallim when he is on his own. والنون له. Noon is also for له refers to mutakallim. The noon is also for the mutakallim إذا كان معه غيره, when someone else is with him. والتاء للمخاطب مفردا. And ta is for the mukhatab when it is what? Singular. أو مثنى or dual أو مجموع or plural, whether it is مذكر or مؤنث. وللغائبة, ta is also for غائبة المفردة ولمثناها, for the singular of غائبة and the dual of غائب. والياء للغائب المذكر, and the غائب is for مذكر like يفعل, whether it is singular, dual or plural, يفعل يفعلان or يفعلون. ولجمع المؤنثة الغائبة, and it's also for the جمع المؤنث غائبة like يفعلن. We know this from the table anyway, but it's the Arabic rule of this. Now, what tense does مضارع show? What tense does مضارع show? So if we say يفعل الآن, what's الآن mean? Now. So يفعل الآن is for the حال, present tense. It's also called حال and also called حاضر, meaning present tense. So حال and حاضر means what? Present tense. You can also say what? يفعل غدا means he will do it tomorrow. Which is that? What tense is that? Future. مستقبل or مستقبل, you can say it both ways. Yes? So مضارع can be for which tenses? Present or future. Present is called حاضر or حال, and future is called مستقبل. If you add لام, لام التوكيد, لام المزحلقة, لام الابتداء onto a فعل مضارع, then it becomes what? حال as well. It can't be مستقبل. It becomes only for what? Present tense. Yes? And if you add سين or سوف, that means what? Soon. سين or سوف means what? Soon. That means what? مستقبل, only مستقبل, not present tense. So when you have it on its own, يفعل, it can be which tenses? Present or future. And the context will help you decide what tense it's for. If you have lam before it, it has to be for what? حال. And حال or حاضر. And if it has a سين or سوف, which means what? سين means soon. سيقول السفهاء من الناس. Soon the stupid people will say. سوف تعلمون. Soon you will come to know. All this is going to be what? مستقبل or مستقبل. Do you understand? That's what he's explaining in the next text. He says here, وهذا, meaning المضارع. وهذا يصلح. صلح يصلح, to be pious or to be suitable, to be appropriate. Yes? And this is suitable or usable. This is usable. So this is usable, appropriate. Yes? And this is suitable, appropriate for both hal and istiqbal, meaning both what? Hadir, present tense, and also mustaqbil, future tense. You could say Zaydun yaf'alu al-an. If it is Zaydun yaf'alu, it can mean he's doing it right now, and this is called hal and hadir. Or you can also say Zaydun yaf'alu ghadan, Zayd will do it tomorrow. This is called the mustaqbil or mustaqbal. Do you understand? Yes? فَإِذَا أَدْخَلْتَ. What does أَدْخَلَ mean? أَدْخَلَ يُدْخِلُ إِدْخَال, to make enter, i.e. place. So here أَدْخَلْتَ means you make enter, or you simply say here place. So if you make a scene enter onto it, and simple language will be what? If you put or place a scene on it or before it, or sawfa before it, and you say فَقُلْتَ, and you say سَيَفْعَلُ, or you say سَوْفَ يَفْعَلُ اختص. This is the first half of the sentence. اختص بزمان الاستقبال. اختص بزمان الاستقبال. It becomes what? اختص means specific. This becomes what? Specific to. Istiqbal means future. Now there's only one tense. Which tense is it going to be? The future tense. So a mudari on its own is going to be what? Hal or mustaqbil. When you have seen or sawfa, it has to be now only what? It becomes specific to the mustaqbil. Tense, time of the future. It becomes specific to the time of the future, i.e. future tense. Yes? To translate again. وَهَذَا يَصْلُهُ لِلْحَالِ وَالْإِسْتِقْبَالِ. And this is suitable, appropriate, usable, used for. This is use. Simply say here, use. The best translation is what? This is use. هَذَا يَصْلُهُ. Or this can be used. This can be used for present and future. تقول, you will say زَيْدٌ يَفْعَلُ الْآن. Zayd is doing right now. وَيُسَمَّى حَالًا وَحَاضِرًا. This is called what? Hal and حاضر. أو زَيْدٌ يَفْعَلُ غَدًا. Or you will say Zayd will do tomorrow. وَيُسَمَّى مُسْتَقْبَلًا. This is called what? مستقبل. وَإِذَا أَدْخَلْتَ عَلَيْهِ السِّينَ أَوْ سَوْفَ فَقُلْتَ سَيَفْعَلُ أَوْ سَوْفَ يَفْعَلُ. And when you place a sin or sawfa on it or before it, and you say سَيَفْعَلُ أَوْ سَوْفَ يَفْعَلُ, that's a like condition. There's a maf'ul fi. When you do this, then what happens? What's the main verb? اختص, it becomes specific to the tense, the time of the future, meaning future tense. Yes? Everybody following? وَإِذَا أَدْخَلْتَ عَلَيْهِ اللَّامِ. You translate this now, it's easy now. وَإِذَا أَدْخَلْتَ عَلَيْهِ اللَّامِ اختص بزمان الحال. When you place a lam alayhi on it, اختص بزمان الحال, it becomes specific to the time of present, meaning present tense. As I explained in the previous slide. If you place a lam before it, it becomes hal only. If you place sin or sawfa, it becomes what? Future only. Okay? You got it? Understood? Yes? Understood so far? Now, we know how to make the fi'al mudari ma'loom and majhul, but just go through the rules here in Arabic. فَالْمَبْنِيُّ لِلْفَاعِلِ مِنْهُ. فَالْمَبْنِيُّ لِلْفَاعِلِ مِنْهُ. So mabni al-fa'il means what we call fi'al ma'loom. Yes? And I explained to you what mabni al-fa'il means already. And minhu means of min al-mudari. So we translate this as what? The fi'l ma'loom of the mudari. How do you translate this? Because mabni al-fa'il means what? Fi'l ma'loom. It's easy to translate. So the fi'l ma'loom of the mudari, this is mubtada. The fi'l ma'loom of the mudari is what? ما كان حرف المضارعة منه مفتوحا. Is that verb whose حرف المضارعة? حرف المضارعة is what? The علامة المضارع. So whose what's حرف المضارعة? The word that makes it مضارع, which is what? أتينا. Yes? Or أنيت. Yes? Or أنتي. ألف نون تاء أنتي. Yeah? That's how English يجمعها قولنا أنتي. Yes? ما كان حرف المضارعة منه مفتوحا. Yes? If the حرف المضارع is what? مفتوح. Yes? So normally what will happen, except from a few cases, the فعل علامة المضارع in معلوم will always be what? Will always, علامة المضارع is what? نأتي or أنتي ألف نون تاء يا. Yes? Or? Yes? But it will always be what? مفتوح. Yes? Except in a few verbs. Except in what? إلا ما كان ماضيه على أربعة أحرف. However, if the madi has only four letters, not mujarrad letters, just 4 letters. If the fi'l madi of that verb has 4 letters, if the fi'l madi has how many letters? Then the mudari will have a dhamma, even though it's ma'loom. Which are these? فَإِنَّ حَرْفَ الْمُضَارَعَةِ مِنْهُ. Because the حرف المضارعة of those verbs يكون مذموما أبدا, will always be مذموم. For example, look. رباعي مجرد. What's رباعي مجرد? دحرج. What is it? How many letters are there? So the madi has how many letters? Therefore, mudari will have what on the alam mudari? Dhamma. What's madi of yukrimu? It's akrama. So you have akrama, so mudari becomes what? Yukrimu with a dhamma. What's the mudari of qatala? The mudari is what? Qatala. How many letters are there? So mudari is going to have what on the alam mudari? And farraha is and the madi of yufarrihu is what? Farraha. So therefore you have to have what on the mudari? Dhamma. Even though it's what? Ma'loom. Yes? But apart from these 1, 2, 3, 4. So four verbs have 4 letters in the madi. So in the ma'loom, fa'al ma'loom and mabniyu lil fa'il, they have what? They have a dhamma. Yes? So then the question is, if the alamatul mudari is supposed to be maftuh in the mabniyu lil fa'il, then what's the sign of it being ma'loom? وَعَلَامَةُ بِنَاءِ هَذِي الْأَرْبَعَةِ لِلْفَاعِلِ. This is the mubtada. And the sign of these 4 being molded or formed. So the sign of these 4 being molded or formed to accommodate the fa'il, meaning the sign of these being ma'loom, yes, is what? كون الحرف الذي قبل آخره مكسورا أبدا. كون means what? Being. And كان the فعل ناقص. What's the fa'il of كون? The ism of كان. الحرف الذي قبل آخره. The letter before the آخره, before its ending, last letter. So the letter before its last letter being what? Always maksur. So how do you translate this whole sentence again? The sign of these 4, which 4? Hadil arba refers to what? So the sign of these 4 being for fa'il. What does it being for fa'il means? Being ma'loom, fa'ilun ma'loom, or being mabniyun lil fa'il. So the sign of these 4 being for fa'il is what? The letter before the last letter being always maksur, being maksur always, split infinitive. Don't worry. You know split infinitive? Yes? وَعَلَامَةُ بِنَيْ هَذِي الْأَرْبَعَةِ لِلْفَاعِلِ. The sign of these 4 words being مَبْنِيُّ لِلْفَاعِلِ فَعْلٌ مَعْلُومٌ or فَعْلٌ مَعْرُوف is that the harf before the last letter is always going to be maksur. So for example, دَحْرَجَ, what's the mudari? يُدَحْرِجُ. What's the majhul? يُدَحْرَجُ. So if you have a fatha here, so basically in these 4, so in normal fa'l al-mudari, the sign that it is ma'loom is what? The alamatul mudari being what? Maftuh. But in these 4, the sign of it being ma'loom is what? The second last letter having a kasra, not a fatha. Ma'loom is what? Al-fa'l al-ma'loom from here is what? Yukrimu. The fa'l al-majhul is going to be yukramu. Qatala yuqatilu, majhul is going to be yuqatalu. Farra yufarrihu is going to be yufarrahu. So any mudari, for a mudari to be ma'loom, for a mudari to be mabniyun lil fa'il, the alamatul mudari must be what? For example, yaftahu, yasma'u, yabsuru, yansuru. And yataqabbalu, yataqabalu, yastaqbilu, yastaghfiru, yanqalibu. All of them have what enough alamatul mudari? Fatha. And that fatha is a sign that this word is mabniyun lil fa'il, or this verb is mabniyun lil what? للمفاعل مبني للفاعل or فعل معلوم. Except these 4. These 4 have a dhamma anyways. So these 4, how do you test whether it's ma'loom or majhul? Looking at the second last letter. If you have yudahriju, it's going to be ma'loom or majhul? Yudahriju. And yudahraju is going to be majhul. Yukrimu is ma'loom or majhul? And yukramu is going to be majhul. Yuqatalu is going to be? And yuqatil is going to be? And yufarrahu becomes what? I didn't say it properly, huh? Yufarrahu becomes what? Yufarrihu becomes what? Yufarrihu becomes? Ma'loom. And yufarrahu becomes? So you don't look at the dhamma here, you look at the second last letter. And every other word, what do you look at? The ya being, ya ta, atayna, or anti becoming what? Madhmoom. Yes? So mudharif anti is madhmoom. Yes? Remember that one, eh? So mudhari's anti is going to be alif nun ta ya. Mudhari's anti is going to be maftuh. Yes? So mudhari's anti is maftuh when it is ma'loom, and the mudhari's anti is madhmoom when it's going to be majhul, except in these verbs. We continue from here tomorrow, inshallah. Any questions? Yeah? Okay, subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim, nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. Moving on, we have the examples of how we conjugate al-ma'lum, al-mabniyu lil-ma'lum, al-mabniyu lil-fa'il. It's also al-ma'lum. So, mithaluhu min yaf'ulu bi-dhammil ayn. The example of yaf'ulu with a dhamma on the ayn is yansuru, yansurani, yansuruna, tansuru, tansurani, yansuruna. I'm not going to read that. You all know that already, right? So he got ansuru. Waqis ala hadha, what does that mean? And based on this, judge. So judge is maf'ul bihi. Judge, yadribu, ya'lamu, all of these based on this. And what? Judge all of this, meaning, so maf'ul bihi is this. Judge all of these based on this. If we give you one example, you're clever enough to figure out the rest. So ya'lamu is what? It has to have the alamatul mudari, must be maftuh. So ya'lamu. So yadribu, ya'lamu, yudahriju, yukrimu, yuqatilu, yufarrihu, yatakassaru, yataba'adu, yanqati'u, yajtami'u, yahmarru, yahmaru, yajlawwidhu, yastakhriju, ya'shawshibu, yaqansisu, yaslanqi, yatadahraju, yahranjimu, and yaqsha'irru. All of them have the same pattern. That alamatul mudari is going to be maftuh. Yes? Correct? Okay? You got it? والمبني للمفعول منه ما كان حرف المضارعة منه مذموما. And in فعل مضارع, how do you make it مبني للمفعول or مبني فعل معلوم مجهول? Is that so مبني للفاعل منه, so meaning here منه refers to the مضارع. So the مضارع is مبني للمفعول or the مضارع is فعل مجهول. Is that whose harf al-mudara'a is madhmoom? Is that whose harf al-mudara'a is what? Madhmoom. وَمَا قَبْلَ الْآخِرِ مِنْهُ مَفْتُوحًا. And that whose second last letter, مَا قَبْلَ الْآخِرِ, that whose second last letter is going to be what? مَفْتُوحًا. Yes? Are you following? And that whose? مَا قَبْلَ الْآخِرِ. That whose before the ending is maftuh. Are you following? So for example, yunsaru. So what's happening in yunsaru? The alamatul mudara'a, the harful mudara'a here. See the harful mudara'a? What's the harful mudara'a? Madhmoom. And this is akhir. And this is qabla al-akhir. So the qabl al-akhir has a fatha and alamatul mudara'a is what? The madhmoom. Same thing here. Yudah, raju, yukramu, yufarrahu, yuqatalu, yustakhraju. Yes? You following? Yes? That's it, inshallah. And the next section is a bit more detailed regarding a few other rules of fi'l al-mudari'. Understood? Okay, subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.